Right. I hope nobody's looking at my picture in the participants. We shared the organization Zoom, and my colleague has put his picture there. So sorry, it's not me in the haircut. Right. I guess we can start. Right. One more. Welcome, everybody. We greet you from Prague, from Czech Republic. We are IQ Structures. And to be honest, we are a pretty progressive company within the holography. We are very enthusiastic about what we do. I might say we are very reliable, and I'm proud to say that we tend to be easy to talk to. So please, if you want, reach out, and we communicate almost all the time, even through the night, because of course, people around here come from around the world. They say it's fun to work with us, so dare to try us. And what we do, we help governments and companies to protect what is valuable for them, especially from the bad guys. It can be citizens' personal identity or documents or monetary value or commercial products. We have been in the industry for more than 20 years under the name of IQ Structures. We are just now in our 9th year. We have just passed a certification for ISO 27001 and are aiming for the INTERGRAF. So that's sort of a bridge. Welcome to the INTERGRAF online conference and to the roundtable that we hold, where we would like to show you some of our best effects that we have and how easy it can be for you to pick some for your documents or valuables, whatever you need to protect. With me today, I have my colleague, Roman. You can see him in the participant list as Roman from IQ Structures. He will help me to describe all the effects for you because he's the one who designs them, who thinks about the special tricks they should perform. And he is a devil in innovation, I would say. So there'll be at the end place for your questions. Let me just ask you right now, we count with some Q&A session at the end. If you want to ask whatever during, or you come up with an idea what to ask, you can use the chat, or there is a special feature in Zoom under the reactions on your lower part of the app, where you can raise your virtual hand. And it's really pleasant to hear also somebody else you can ask personally if you are not afraid or not too shy. We hope not, because it's always better to hear from the context what you're thinking or what the question is. Mastering is also called origination. As you might know, we gained some very nice awards for our origination. That's why we praise it so much in our company. It's a process of physical creation of holographic effect, process of manufacturing the first hologram, which is later used to create a series of final products. So there are 3 main requirements for a hologram to perform and function well. The first one, the hologram must be very difficult to produce to prevent the counterfeiters from making their own. And that is why our master holograms are originated on an electron beam lithograph, which writes with a nanoscale precision which has got a resolution up to 2,540,000 dpi. The production process includes several sensitive steps, such as electroforming and recombination. And for us, having those technologies in-house is a must for counterfeiters as well. That's why we think it's very important step. The second is that even still, the hologram must be easy to authenticate. So since we live in a very fast-paced world, which allows only a short period of time for hologram authentication, the one who authenticates the document and validates its originality sometimes has only like 2 to 3 seconds to say this is not fake. And as you might know, it's also very dependent on the conditions, on lighting. So to meet all the criteria, a hologram needs to be easy to recognize in a split of a second without use of any supporting technology. So we focus on first level features recognizable with the mere naked eye. Of course, our holograms contain effects for second level and third level protection as well. And last but not least, a hologram is placed on a security document or product. So its appearance is what matters the most. So we encourage the users to verify the hologram authenticity by making sure it is aesthetically pleasing, eye-catching, or visually really very nice. I must say that behind me you can see 2 of the pictures that another of our designers made for us. So our designers are really artists. You can be sure that they make the best that is available here. And how to pick a hologram, how to make sure that that you use what is necessary, and you know how to use it, right? You need to protect your valuables, so usually use something according to the value of the document. Let me tell you that our technology allows to place the hologram anywhere on the document, especially if it's a polycarbonate sheet. And our holograms have been placed on vinyl, the record for playing music without any effect on the music. So both works well. And we also put it on gold and silver. The latest one will be the silver coin, annual silver coin of the Czech Republic. It's going to be announced pretty soon. Most we work with foils and polycarbonate. So in polycarbonate, it's possible to place the hologram even to the very edge of the document. It may even go on into another document, and there can create, if you put 2 documents together, you can create 1 picture with it. And the delamination is not possible in this case. So if somebody tells you this is not possible with us, it is. It's also possible to pick a metallic effect or transparent or something that goes from one to another. So if you want to place it on a part of a document where you need to protect something that you need to see through, then it's possible with us. So let me tell you that we have just created a new effect gallery. It's placed on our web pages, iqstructures.com. You can have a look at the full scope there, and we would like now to tell you some details about few of them. And and show them to you right now. Let me share the screen, and Roman will navigate you through the technical things. Just give me a moment, please. I need to close a few windows here so that it doesn't interfere with what we have here. So the first one, Romane, you can go.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to tell you that I'm proud to be here and to have opportunity to present you our unique security features, which we prepare for you here in IQ Structures company. So let's dive in it, and let me start with first one, which is visible, this animation, which actually frozen in front of me, but I try to describe it. Yeah, it starts to move again. It's an effect, we call it full 3D, and it's presented by lines in behind of signature check or Expo 2020. As you see, these lines are white, which is quite difficult to achieve something like this in world of diffraction. This effect is based of real calculation of real hologram. So it starts with using of Maxwell equations, and through the whole process, on the end, we generated very complicated and unique structure. That's what you cannot see here, is that this effect is not just single parallax. So you have a very strong three-dimensional feeling when you move it from left to right. But even if you move the hologram up and down, it's still three-dimensional, and the object in behind moves in such a three-dimensional manner. So moving up and down. It's a big difference in whole three-dimensional effect known from security world as such as stereoscopic effect or 2D, 3D effect, which are just single parallax. Another very strong feature of this effect is that this is not made from multi-channel approach. So this is not just, let's say, 20 pictures and put together as a multi-channel and create stereoscopic picture. This is a real three-dimensional cloud of points, and precision calculation allows us to create this very sharp effect and with very strong deepness and without any segmentation. It's completely different. Nothing like this is possible to even simulate or emulate at the cheap dot matrix lithograph. Even at the little bit more sophisticated lithograph optical, you get big problem with the wide range of angle we have here. So only way how to originate it is calculation for E-beam lithograph, which moves this effect to very high security level. And of course, E-beam, it's possible to find in the world, but that's what we are proud of, is technique we're using for calculation. There is literally millions or billions calculation for 1 millimeter square of this effect to create completely unique structure, which is very similar to structure you can see if you explore the hologram making by real light. Okay, my colleague switched to another effect here, which we call rainbow 3D effect. You can see it at the top of the vase, this colorful effect, which presents something like embossed effect, something like coin-like effect. The top of the wave seems to be a little bit blown from the surface of hologram. It's just, of course, illusion, but we have completely under control its illusion. We can prepare very complex three-dimensional objects to create with this effect. Also, we have completely under control the surface of this effect. As you see here, for example, there is some texture put it on the vase, and as well the colorful is a bit coordinate, yeah, intentionally. This is not just general, we call it pearl emboss effect in the world, probably well known. So this is advantages. Also, great advantage of this effect is that it's very bright, very sharp, and very well visible even on diffuse light. So you can put it, for example, for application on transparent foils. Now we have our stripe, and in the middle of this stripe, there is effect, we call it moving effect. As you see, this stripe is moves from left to right, but this object on this effect moves up and down. And if this animation will move this stripe up and down, the objects will move left and right. We call it familiarly swap parallax effect. So there is something strange going on here. And again, this effect is very well visible, very sharp visible even on the diffuse light, and it's full parallax, which means it's not possible to counterfeit it on the cheap counterfeiting devices, such as optical lithographs. As well, the calculation of these effects is kind of our specialty, and this effect is something similar, which you already know from world of banknotes, for example, dollars. But here we are in a much wider range of angle, and also we are much sharper than lenticular approach. Also, we were even surprised how good is visible this effect even on diffuse light, which is world light condition for hologram. If you illuminate it with a spotlight, which you can have it on your cell phone, for example, you can see that this part of this effect, this design, is very sharp and very, very detailed, which is not possible to achieve in different approach. So it's one of the strongest security feature we have, and it's a new one. Here you can see two effects, but I will speak about sharp 3D. The sharp 3D is this rosette, which going in behind of hologram surface, and as well this key for musicians, and which is in front of surface of hologram. You can even try to touch it when you see it with naked eye. It's a very, very strong three-dimensional illusion as well. Compare with the effect I mentioned before, this one is colorful. It's much sharper on white light, and it's much brighter. That's why it's probably only one effect you can use without problem on transparent foil, and you can see it still very pronounced, very sharp, and with very strong feel of deepness. As well as with the full 3D, the structure here is non-periodic, non-repeatable, calculated by at the base of computer-generated holography, and as well we put there our own approach to make it such a sharp and such a bright. So this is another feature. Probably we will have. I already explained this one, But probably here I can point out another detail here. As you see in the middle, this square morphing from square to something else and so on. So I just want to tell that we can do this voodoo designs, voodoo here, and we can move this object as we like. We can morphing it as we like with any kind of parallax, and final impact is very strong. Nothing like this is possible as well, counterfeit with general approaches. The most important thing behind this effect is not that it's possible to do it just only e-beam, but this know-how in behind. I think we can switch to another one.
Just let me open it, please, because I don't know why it closed somehow. And we have another people coming.
So problems always happen.
They don't always, but
they
that's
do
what
now. That's what I want to tell, that we always focusing on the first level. As my colleague before mentioned, the most important thing is realize and find out that this effect is something else than the others. This effect is something new, and you don't need to stare it for a long time and try to check it. What is it? First look, and you see that that's it. All right, here we got 3 effects I like to speak of, so please don't take it off very soon. First one will be effect which we call white 3D, and this is this horse here. This effect is not unique, but the approach we have to this effect is unique. First of all, as you see, it is a beautiful graphical design. Before the stripe was this effect as well applied, and there was a face. So we our source of information for this effect, source of graphic, is a 3-dimensional model, and as colleague as well mentioned, we got very high skilled graphic designers which can sculpt faces very precisely. And there is one catch with faces. In the evolution of million years, human brains start to be very sensitive at the faces, and even if faces are very similar, even there is a very small difference, human brain can tell it and immediately can understand that this is not this original. So if someone wants to counterfeit human face, there is a very, very big problem, because human brain is much more sensitive than anything else. Here, I'd like to point out another thing, which is kind of unique in our approach, and this is surface finish. As you see, this horse is not just brightly shine, but it has got something like a texture, something like a brushed surface on it, and it's our specialty. We can control part of this effect, and we can some part make very bright, very shine, very polished. Some other part could be brushed, could be rough, and brings much more dynamics to this visual approach. Another effect which is visible here, I already speak about, but this is special application of this effect. This is this pi sign in a star, as you see. You cannot see the full pi at the first look, but as the hologram move, or as you tilt it in your hand up and down, left and right, then you find out completely what is in behind. We call it the keyhole effect. And this is big advantage of our full 3D technology, that we can put the object deep in space, in behind of the keyhole. And when you tilt it with this hologram, with this keyhole, then you have see the partial of whole object. Your brain then complete to these partial pictures, and then in your mind it's appear whole graphic design, which is even not visible at the one look. And last thing I'd like to mention here, no, last two things. It's the background of this horse. As well, this is sharp to the effect I spoke of. And as you see, there is a quite big deepness of this deepest part and moves from left to right without any segmentation. It's not even something even near to this possible with stereoscopic effect or multi-channel approach, which is using in security field of area. All right, and last thing I'd like to point out is another star. As you see at this star, there are a lot of lines which moving from left to right. It's something like axicon, but it's not axicon actually. We call it modified axicon, and it's again our special effect which is visible from any kind of light condition and from any angle you look at the hologram. You always see very nice bright shine lines which moving on the star. I think that's all for this picture. Oh, well, no, maybe in border of this horse effect or this hologram, you can see through this graphic design moves kinetics, which is not really something new or something extremely secure, but that's what I want to point out is our approach graphical design. From graphical design point of view, it's something new. It's not just expansion or moving from left to right. This design, it's quite sophisticated and kinetic moves through these ornaments and create really beautiful visual effect. So something which is well known could be taken in the different level.
Thank you, Roman. We've got only a few minutes. If you'd like to stay with us a bit longer, we are here for you. We have one question in the chat. In there, probably, are there any banknote in circulation with your hologram? Well, we are in a pilot of few banknote projects. So, so far you can see those effects on IDs and passport data pages or similar polycarbonate documents. So, pilot versions of the banknotes. Are there any more questions? If you'd like to ask personally, you can raise your hand or just unmute yourself. I believe since there is not queue of people asking, we will not speak over one another. You're allowed to unmute yourself in the corner of your little icon. Just go to unmute and ask. Roman, meanwhile, would you like to tell us maybe how do you actually create a hologram? What is the process of it?
Well, it's quite complicated process, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to speak about it. It's our know-how, but definitely
make it information
definitely
safe.
I can tell you some things which we works and prepare for you for future. That's what you saw. This is effect which are already in, let me say, production, but we're preparing another extension of this effect. I already mentioned this morphing object. It's a very strong approach, very strong effect. We already use it in some commercial application, and it looks really nice. So maybe in next presentation you will see how it works and how what visual effect it is. So as well, we prepare another effects regarding this moving effect, and as well we working with three-dimensional objects, which is something which tells us from the rest of the world, which mostly when trying to do something three-dimensional, they just put something in behind, some surface, or something in front, but still just surface. Other three-dimensional objects are real three-dimensional and can be even morphed from a sphere to square to cube and so on.
Right, thank you. There are a few more questions. Thank you for those. There is a question, IQ Structure is more an origination producer or foil or inlay producer? We produce all of them, both of them, all of them, so no problem. Is this origination fully compatible with the known foil producers? Yes, they are. There is one more question. What features, Roman, would you recommend for an ideal banknote?
Well, there is a couple of features. In ideal banknote, this is something like a top of security features. There's supposed to be a fusion of at least two basic principle of feature. First one should be very well visible even with the diffuse light. So this achromatic feature or this rainbow 3D feature is very good indeed. And another one should be something really catchy, really new, and really original. And there is our 3D, full 3D effect or our moving effect. As I mentioned, we were really surprised how after application of this effect to banknote paper, this effect was still very, very good pronounced even on very bad light conditions. So it's definitely suitable for this application.
Perfect, thank you. Right, we are at the top of the hour plus 4 minutes. We hope you can stay with us a few more minutes. If you've got more questions, we are happy to answer them. If not, we are very glad that you stayed with us. And we hope you will enjoy the rest of the online conference of INTERGRAF Currency. Tomorrow, I would like to draw the attention to our innovation track, where Robert Dvořák, our business development director, will speak about data pages in passports and protection of these polycarbonate parts. There is one more question from Alessio. What is the maximum deepness that your origination reach?
Well, that's a very good question, and I could answer it for half of an hour to speak, but in a shortcut, we already tried to put the object 1 meter in behind of hologram, and it works. It starts to be much more challenging if it's more than 1 meter, but definitely with our calculation, we are able to put object into 1 meter deepness. Of course, to reconstruction of this object is not possible with white light. You have to use at least monochromatic light, but ideal with laser light. And it works perfectly.
And you speak about the keyhole effect.
For example, keyhole effect, yes. Yeah. Oh. I'm speaking generally for full 3D effect, which is keyhole is part of full 3D.
All right. We hope this is satisfactory as an answer for you. Are there any more coming? Not at all. Just a moment. All right, we are waiting. Would you like maybe to put on your microphone and speak if it's possible for you? I can realize you may be in conditions where it's loud, but it might be better to understand the context of the question.
I see the question here. The depth, probably there was some misunderstanding.
Of deepness and depth.
About depth of perception of object in behind of hologram. The depth of structure is of course below 1 micron, which creates this visual effect.
Alessio, where are you? I'll ask you to unmute so that you can help us, maybe. Hello,
can you hear me? Can you
yes,
hear me?
very well.
Sorry, but you know, I had to fight with my microphone and my audio. But Roman, so second answer was the one that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, the deepness of this structure.
Yes, you know, just a question.
Yeah.
So
structure is generally holographic structure, same as you doing kinetic effects or flip-flop effects and anything. The specialty of our structure is that it's not just straight lines with some angle, with some period, but the structure is calculated at the base of computer-generated holography, and as a result is very complex diffracting structures, which looks like completely mess, but it's not mess. It's a result of interference of light.
okay, so this was the answer that I was expecting. So
Perfect.
So thank you very much for your presentation. It was very nice, and your technology is quite amazing. So
thank you.
Good luck for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Very
you.
much.
Speaking of which, if you'd like to see the effects one more time or multiple times, you are welcome to visit our webpage, which is on iqstructures.com. Or of course, we can send you the information. You will find the contact information in our virtual booth, and we are happy to send you.
I see here
it is your favorite feature.
One more question. I can answer from this effect you have seen here. It's probably moving effect. It's kind of my baby, but honestly, I got something which is in preparation, and we will present maybe later, and it's now for me the favorite.
And what is your dream feature? And what is your dream feature then?
My dream feature is feature which is not possible, unfortunately. It's some feature which is perfectly visible in any kind of light condition. Unfortunately, there is one golden rule in holography: no lights, no holograms. And that's the problem. Many times you exploring or observing these holograms without proper illumination. So that's my dream, but I'm not sure if I make it up somehow.
Maybe with some self-illumination feature.
Yeah.
We'll see. Right. Thank you very much for staying with us. And we hope to see you tomorrow at our innovation track, where Robert will be able to answer via chat whatever questions you will have to the polycarbonate documents, especially data pages in passports. And we hope to hear from you or see you in our small factory, in our offices, on our Skype or Zoom, to speak with you soon. Have a good day.
Thank you for your attention and have a good day.